Um, while I've been doing my research into these other religions but my own, I found Islam and Mormonism have actually been compared to one another since the earliest origins of the latter in the 19th century, sometimes by the detractors or one or both religions, but also at least once by Joseph Smith, founder of the LDS movement himself. Smith was also frequently referred to as the modern Muhammad by several publications of the era, notably in the New York Herald, shortly after his assassination in June 1844. This repeated a comparison that had been made from Smith's earliest career, one that was not intended to be a compliment. Comparison of the Mormon and Muslim prophets still occurs today, sometimes for derogatory or polemical reasons, but also for scholarly and neutral purposes. Although Mormonism and Islam bear many striking similarities in theology, practice, history, and ethos, there are also significant differences between the two religions. Mormon-Muslim relations have historically been cordial. Recent years have seen increasing dialogue between adherents of two faiths and cooperation in charitable endeavors. Perhaps the greatest single area of difference between Mormon and Muslim lies in their religion's differing concept of God. In Islam, Allah, the Arabic term for God, is seen as being unique, totally transcendent, absolutely and indivisibly one. This concept is called Tawhid in Islamic theology and does not admit the possibility of division in the Godhead either in personality, essence, or otherwise. It holds that God is one and unique. The very term Allah itself is singular and does not have a plural form in Arabic, where God in English can be pluralized into gods. Allah is perceived by Muslims to be unique, independent, and indivisible being who is utterly independent of who precedes all of creation, having created all of it. Hence the idea that there could be no more than one God, or that God could be composed of distinct persons, thinking of the Trinity, which Mormons also don't believe in. Mormonism believes in a Godhead composed of three separate and distinct beings who function as a single unified God under the direction of the Father, who is held to be the senior member of this triad. Although the Book of Mormon and Doctrine and Covenants clearly identify the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost as being one God, this unity is seen as a metaphorical oneness in spirit, purpose, and glory rather than physical or bodily union. The Mormon Book of Abraham, in its account of creation, one that generally parallels one in the biblical book of Genesis, speaks of the gods rather than God as accomplishing the acts of creation. This is from Apostle Jeffrey Holland. We believe these three divine persons, consisting a single Godhead, are united in purpose and manner, in testimony and mission. We believe them to be filled with the same godly sense of mercy and love, justice and grace, patience, forgiveness, and redemption. I think it is accurate to say we believe there are one in every significant internal aspects imaginable, except believing them to be three persons combined in one substance, a Trinitarian notion never set forth in the Scriptures because it is not true. Whereas Muslims believe that Allah is absolutely above and separate from all His creation, having created all of it from nothing. Mormonism considers both matter and intelligence to be co-eternal with Him. Rather, God, according to Mormonism, organizes the elements into planets, stars, living beings, and so forth. Islam considers this concept to be a defection of creation, which it sees as a form of shirk, which is a sin you cannot die in and be redeemed. In Islam, all Muslims are considered brothers and sisters and are often addressed by title brother or sister. This same holds true in Mormonism. Both are very focused on family. In Islam, the most important person in your life, next to Allah, is mother. Paradise lies underneath the feet of mothers. Maudu Hadith. Mormons also stress the importance of family relations. The des, the designate They designate Sunday as their Sabbath, a day of rest from worldly concerns and endeavors to concentrate on spiritual matters, including communal worship and family activities. They also designate modern Monday evenings as Family Home Evening, an evening where all Mormons are encouraged to devote themselves exclusively to family togetherness in joint activities, temporal as well as spiritual. Mormonism teaches families can be together throughout eternity through the rite of eternal marriage and sealing ordinance as performed in Mormon temples. If a Mormon is good standing, receives these rites, and continues faithful to his or her religion until death, he or she is granted to be reunited in the next life with all their family members who have done the same. Islam declares that all of those who remain faithful to Islam and achieve Jannah, heaven, or paradise, as it is often called, will be reunited with their families there, or at least so many of them have remained equally faithful to their religion and achieved the same reward. Fascinating.